Even with the most sophisticated modern text editors, the core experience of software development remains a manual process. Engineers spend the majority of their time physically typing out boilerplate, repetitive logic, and standard configuration files. This creates a physical limit on production. In enterprise environments, the primary constraint on cloud infrastructure isn't a lack of engineering talent, it's the sheer volume of keystrokes required to turn an architectural plan into functional code. Kiro is the world's first Agentic IDE. It integrates a dedicated AI agent directly into the development environment, moving the engineer's role from manual typist to director. Instead of manually drafting every file, you provide the intent and allow the agent to generate the scaffolding. This workflow is built on Spec-driven development, or SDD. It's a methodology where you define the what and the why through structured blueprints, leaving the agent to determine the how. By utilizing SDD, engineers can bypass the friction of manual drafting. This transforms raw intent into immediate progress, allowing a project to move from concept to execution without being gated by manual entry. While conversational AI is useful for brainstorming in vibe mode, core feature development requires a more disciplined approach. For production-ready code, Kiro uses spec mode. A .kiro.md spec file acts as the formal blueprint. It begins with a description section, capturing high-level intent as a user story. Below that, you define acceptance criteria, the machine-readable contract. The agent checks off every item, ensuring the code meets your logic requirements. Managing a single feature is straightforward, but maintaining standards across an entire enterprise project is more complex. You need a way to enforce architectural choices without repeating them in every single spec. This project-wide governance is handled by steering files, specifically the .kiro/steer.md file. These files serve as persistent guardrails. You can set rules that enforce TypeScript usage or require specific UI frameworks across every interaction. The agent consults these rules before every action, ensuring consistent behavior across the whole repository. Assured, this combination of feature-level specs and project-wide steering allows for a high degree of precision. It creates a closed loop where the agent's output is constantly verified against your defined standards, significantly reducing the logic drift often found in standard AI tools. Kiro extends this control into your deployment pipeline using workflow automation. By implementing agent hooks, you can integrate the AI directly into your existing development lifecycle. These hooks respond to specific events, like saving a file or initiating a build. A pre-build hook can validate a spec structure, while a post-change hook triggers the moment the agent modifies any code on your disk. You can see the effect here on the timeline. These hooks can be configured to immediately trigger linting or unit tests the second the agent writes code, providing an autonomous layer of quality assurance before you even review the files. However, an AI is only as good as the information it can access. If the agent is limited to your local files, it lacks the context of the external tools and data your infrastructure relies on. To solve this, Kiro utilizes the Model Context Protocol, or MCP. It acts as a secure bridge between the IDE and your external environment. This diagram shows the data flow. By using an MCP server as a secure adapter, the agent can pull in real-time context, such as database schemas or documentation from Jira, without requiring direct access to sensitive production credentials. By combining event-driven hooks with external MCP context, Kiro functions as a fully integrated environment for managing complex infrastructure, capable of handling tasks that previously required manual oversight. Every layer of the Kiro architecture works in sync. Specs define the features, steering enforces the standards, hooks automate the testing, and MCP servers provide external context. For enterprise firms, this reduces the time spent on manual maintenance. It allows teams to focus on high-level architecture while maintaining a consistent and rapid deployment cycle for cloud infrastructure. The software engineer is not being replaced by AI. Instead, the nature of the work is changing. The advantage will belong to those who master agentic systems. Engineers who use spec-driven development to multiply their output will become the new standard in the industry. Transition your workflow into the autonomous era. Download Kiro, initialize your first project, and see the difference in your deployment velocity today.